Hi there, friends. I'm meteorologist Jeff Haniewich. Current time 10 o'clock here on this Wednesday evening. We had a couple of showers very early today, but for the most part, we dried out nicely as we really went from about 8:30 in the morning on. And even this afternoon, we did see some breaks of sunshine. We'll talk more about the weather heading our way here in just one second, but want to just remind you that the absolute best way for us to show you at home other folks' pictures, i.e. the best way to get your pics on the air, is to use something that we call Pin It. You can access it through WSLS.com. You can access it through our mobile app, the weather app, WSLS.com/pin. So get your pics on the air by sending all your pics to Pin It. As a matter of fact, when Chris Michaels does his picture of the day in the morning, the only way he can show it is actually via Pin It. So if you want your pics on the air again, please send them to WSLS.com/pins and Pin It, and we will get that on the air. All right, so today's February 1st, which means tomorrow is February 2nd, right? Yeah, it's Groundhog Day, okay? So really the reason that I'm talking about February 2nd to start off this Appcast is to let you know that tomorrow we will find out what Punxsutawney Phil's prediction is for the rest of winter. He's a cute little guy, isn't he? All right, 7 a.m. temperature in Punxsutawney, PA. That's in north central Pennsylvania. 19 degrees by 9 a.m. when we certainly find out if he's seen a shadow or not. It's going to be about 22. It's going to be very, very cold in Pennsylvania with skies partly cloudy. All right, let's talk from cold air in Pennsylvania to the month that was this past January, and it was a warm one for us. January 2023 was very, very warm. As a matter of fact, you'll notice the top 5 warmest Januaries ever on record in the Roanoke Valley. The January that we just finished is tied for number 3 for the 3rd warmest January ever on record. It tied with January of 1932. With an average temperature of 44.9. Now, the warmest January we ever had was back in 1950, where the average temperature was about 47.5 degrees. So yes, January was certainly a very warm month for us here to start out 2023. I told you that Roanoke was tied for the 3rd warmest ever on record. Covington was 7th. Danville, you tied for the 8th warmest January ever on record. Lynchburg 9th, and Blacksburg, you came in with the 11th warmest January ever on record. All right, let's compare January 22 to January 23. Of course, we just told you that January 23 was so warm. It was so warm for the last 31 days, at least generally speaking. It was very warm. Yeah, we had some cold days mixed in every now and again. But again, to be the tied for the 3rd warmest January ever on record, you know that we had a lot of warm days in the month that was January. Now, as you compare it to 2022, we were about 10 degrees colder in 2022. Okay, our average temperature in 2023 January, 44.9. 1 year ago, January 2022, the average temperature was 34.5, which is actually a little bit below average. So talking about 2 different years, just 1 year ago it was cold in January. As we just finished January yesterday, it was certainly a warm one for us to start out 2023. All right, so another thing that was interesting is we just finished a warm month, but the month that came before January, December of 2022, was really quite cold. As a matter of fact, December of 2022 was the coldest December we've had since 2010. So again, December 2022 was the coldest December in about 12 years. Arctic air is returning for us, though, here very, very soon. It's not going to happen tomorrow, but it's going to happen the day after tomorrow. What I want to show you is exactly where this air parcel is originating, okay? Excuse me, right now that air parcel is up near the Hudson Bay area of Canada. It's actually going to go north of the Hudson Bay, go through Manitoba, go through Wisconsin, Michigan, and eventually end up across the Roanoke Valley, and also into southwest, central, and southside Virginia. So it is going to be cold everywhere on Friday and Saturday. We are talking about highs dropping into the 30s for many, many, many of us here on Friday and Saturday. But it's going to be a short-lived cool down, okay? By next week, it's going to feel balmy again. So yes, cold Friday, Saturday. Then we start to moderate on Sunday. Next week is just very warm. There's no other way to say it. Temperatures 10 to 15, maybe 10 to 20 degrees above average. There will be some of us next week that without question get into the 60s, okay? So this week has been kind of chilly, kind of gray. Next week is going to be brighter, and it's going to be warmer as well. All right, let's talk about this next band of precipitation headed our way. This is the last band in the train of kind of precipitation batches we've been dealing with here this week. Right now we have a couple of showers just south of the border into North Carolina, but the bulk of the precipitation right now is situated south and west of us. We've got snow in areas, say, near St. Louis. We've got a mixed bag of weather in Arkansas and also into Tennessee. And we have a mixed bag of weather, mainly, frankly, freezing rain and sleet towards Oklahoma and Texas. They have just been inundated from western Tennessee through Arkansas into Oklahoma and Texas with wintry weather here for the last couple of days. I mean, they have had ice storm warnings. They have had winter storm warnings. The roads have been impassable out across parts of Oklahoma and Texas. Our weather here hasn't been nearly as bad as it has been in Oklahoma and Texas, which when you reach February 1st and are saying that, that's a little weird because usually they're a lot warmer than we are. Not so the case for the last couple of days. But this is our next band of energy. This is our next weather maker, but most of this is going to stay south of us, okay? We told you last night during our appcast that looked like the bulk of the rain was actually moving further south, and the computer models are still saying that 24 hours later. So while we will be on the northern edge of this precipitation, and yes, we will see some isolated rain and or snow showers south of 460 tomorrow, especially the closer you get to the North Carolina-Virginia border, the bulk of the heaviest precipitation is going to stay to the south of us. And you'll see that here on what we're tracking. Cold air, yes, that's certainly going to fill in. But as the cold air fills in, the precipitation is going to exit even the Carolinas. So tomorrow we have about a 40% chance for some widely scattered showers, rain and or snow showers, into the NRV and potentially even towards Southside, although I think Southside you're seeing mainly rain showers. Then that chance goes down the further north you go. So in Roanoke and Lynchburg, about a 20 to 30% chance for a few showers. Up towards the highlands, your chance is about 15 to 20%. So again, the best chance for any precipitation tomorrow will lie south of 460. Then we turn our attention to Friday. And Friday, everybody's forecast is going to be about the same. We're going to turn mostly sunny after some leftover clouds early in the day. But look at this. On Friday, highs will only be in the 30s. And the wind is going to add a chill to the air. We're looking at temperatures mid to upper 30s on Friday with gusts up to maybe 20 to 35 miles per hour. So it is going to be blustery out there on Friday. Saturday will follow suit. Saturday looks very similar to Friday. And then by Sunday, we'll start to warm things up again and hold on to the sunshine. All right, right now the winds are not a factor, okay? They're 3 to 7 miles per hour. Winds, don't worry about them tonight. As a matter of fact, again tonight, we have some fog around. So please be careful traveling. We do have some reduced visibilities. And one of the main reasons why we do have some fog around is because the wind is light. But the winter winds return. That's right. We're talking about a tight pressure gradient here as we head Friday into Saturday. What is a tight pressure gradient? Well, let me explain. We have a low pressure system close to a high pressure system. And gusty wind generally happens when you have a big pressure difference squeezed between the air on a certain day, okay? So big pressure differences squeeze the air more on Friday and will create a whole lot of wind for us. So if this low and this high were further apart, then the winds wouldn't be as strong. But because they're going to be relatively close together, this low and this high, that's going to create kind of a funnel for the air to go through. And when the high and the low are tightly packed, that means the wind has less room to kind of get around, so it comes together and it strengthens. So that is why we're going to have a whole lot of wind as we head into Friday and Saturday. So what that means is, if trash day is Friday for you, you're going to want to get it inside ASAP, because with the wind sustained at 10 to 20 miles per hour, gusting 20 to 35 miles per hour, your trash can could be tipped over nearby, okay? So again, get that trash can in early in the day on Friday, if indeed the trash people come up and, get the trash pretty early in the day. Don't leave it outside in the afternoon. Get it inside. Otherwise, it's going to be tipped over because the winds, again, going to be pretty strong as we close out the work week. 29 right now, Hot Springs, 35 Wytheville, 37 in Roanoke and Lynchburg and Danville, 38 as we speak in Martinsville. It's chilly outside, sure, but it's going to be, kind of a typical low for us tonight. Overnight lows about where they should be for this time of year, anywhere between about 28 and 35 degrees, okay? So temperatures, yes, near freezing, and we could have a few rain and or snow showers very, very late tonight. We're talking after about 5, 6 a.m., okay? Most of tonight is dry, and frankly, most of tomorrow is dry too. The precipitation chances aren't going to be widespread tomorrow, and I think the best chance to see any light rain and or snow showers will be south of 460, okay? High temperatures tomorrow everywhere, mainly in the 40s. Tomorrow will be a day where we're going to be pretty cloudy everywhere. Maybe a couple of breaks of sunshine further north, but again, the best chance for any light precipitation, and it should be mainly a few rain showers, maybe mixing in with a few snow showers in the NRV early in the day, will be the closer you get to the North Carolina-Virginia border. Your extended forecast showing temperatures on Thursday, upper 40s. Then we're in the 36 to 40 degree range Friday and Saturday. Then by Sunday, we're right back up to 54. Look at Monday, 57. Look at Tuesday, 60. On Wednesday of next week, mid to upper 50s. So again, it is going to be quite warm here as we head really from late this weekend into next week. But before that happens, we've got a major league cold spell headed our way, a brief one, on Friday and Saturday. Not only will it be cold on Friday and Saturday, it's going to be windy too. Current time is 10:11, and joining me is my good friend Allie. Allie, are there any questions I can answer tonight? On Friday, yes. The winds will be high on Friday. Yeah, that's a good question. The question is, will there be a high wind watch or warning on Friday? I don't think the winds are going to be strong enough for a high wind warning, but I could see a wind advisory issued. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility as we head into Friday, potentially even into Saturday. High wind warnings, I think you need to have wind gusts like over 55 miles per hour, and I don't think that's going to happen. But you could have gusts, 30, 35 miles per hour, and that might be strong enough to issue a wind advisory, especially towards the higher elevations on Friday and Saturday. It's going to be close. It's going to be a close call. You don't need to know, though, if there's going to be an advisory or a warning. I'm just going to be frank and tell you, it's going to be windy out there. There's no other way to say it. Advisory, warning issued or not from the National Weather Service, it's going to be blustery, okay? Mark my words. Anything else, Allie? Perfect. Before we go, want to again remind you that we have been doing these appcasts more often. We've done them every day this week because I think they've kind of been necessary because of the weather that we've been seeing. I want to remind you that we will every single week, do one of these Mondays at 10 p.m. and also Fridays at 10 p.m. We will also be doing this as needed throughout the week. Might be doing a couple of these as severe weather season gets closer per day. Who knows? But just know that we will keep you informed in this way here on all of our digital devices. The ways that you can watch these appcasts. You can watch them on Roku. You can watch them on YouTube. You can watch them on Facebook. You can watch them on WSLS.com. And you can also watch these on our news and weather apps. So is that all of them, Allie? I remembered. Yay! So yes, there are many, many different ways that you can watch these. What we're going to try to do is kind of get out the information in more ways. We used to do Facebook Lives. Yes, we're still going to do them, but that's going to be one of the 5 different ways that you can get your weather forecast from us here at your local weather authority. So again, we'll be doing them every Monday at 10, every Friday at 10, and as needed during the week as well. And of course, as we enter severe weather season here relatively soon, we'll probably be doing quite a few of these per week. The hope is obviously that the severe weather stays away from us, but we haven't been that fortunate over about the last 5 years or so. Any questions before I leave, Allie? Perfect. It is 10:14. We'll be back here at about 11 o'clock for our 11 o'clock newscast. Of course, you can watch that on your TV on WSLS 10. We hope to see you then, but if we don't, we'll for sure see you Friday night for a Facebook Live and also an appcast and all those different ways that we just talked about, you being able to watch these appcasts. Tomorrow night, I don't think we'll be doing one because I don't think it'll be needed. Of course, if it is needed, we will do one, but we'll see you again for sure Friday at 10 p.m. Have a great night, everybody.